get some more views.
Oh my god, that's stupid. You guys, can you hear my titty moving? God damn it. So, tonight, I wanted to make a ramble about being alone and loneliness. Because I kind of had this realization that this summer I'm probably gonna be like the loneliest I've been in a while. You know, I think first of all, my ex moved. Okay, we became really good friends after the breakup. We were hanging out all the time, and a few months ago he moved to San Francisco. So he's there, and you know, I really don't have friends. Okay, I know sometimes I tell stories and I'm like, oh, me and my friend like went into this. Like, guys, I am literally the CEO of like losing connections, getting ghosted, or like I've also just become very selective with who I allow into my life and who I pour into, you know. Like I want good people in my life who make me feel good, uplift me, inspire me, and like it just feels natural and easy. I think I've learned that it takes a very specific person to fit my life. So, there was one guy who I literally met a couple weeks ago, and we'd been hanging out a lot. And you guys may have seen on like my Instagram and stuff. And he ended up going on a trip for the summer. Okay, so he's gone. I guess really quickly for some lore on this guy that I've been hanging out with. It's kind of a funny story because basically we met on Scruff, okay? And I'm not someone who uses apps very much, but I saw him, thought he was cute, sent him a message, and we ended up making plans a few days later to get food or whatever. And this whole time, I thought his profile said he was 5'8", and I was like, okay, perfect. Like, I like a guy that's a little shorter than me or a little taller. Like, it really doesn't matter, right? And then upon further inspection, this was like after days of talking, and I saw that it said he was 300 pounds. And I was like, how is he 300 pounds and 5'8"? Like, where's the lie? You know what I mean? And then I looked back at his height and I realized it said 6'8". Do you guys realize how tall that is? Like, that is very tall. I'm literally not used to seeing those numbers together. I think I saw the 8 and I just assumed he was 5'8". I don't know. So yeah, he's like a giant. And it's kind of funny because like literally wherever we go, people just like stare at him and comment on his height, and like I look tiny next to him, and I'm average height. I'm 5'9" or like 5'10", in that range. I don't freaking know. I should measure again. Hopefully I'm 5'10". I don't know. But yeah, so the size difference is a little crazy. Okay, but I think it's definitely grown on me. I'm like, maybe I like a big boy. I don't know. Like, my ex was taller than me as well. He was like 6'2" or something, you know, but 6'8" is like massive. Like, you literally don't see people that tall hardly ever. It's kind of insane. So yeah, I mean, that's taken some getting used to, but it's crazy because I have loved the connection so much, and like, genuinely it has taken me by surprise, and I'm like, wow, like, this guy's actually really chill and fun, and we have a good time, and we were hanging out a lot, you know, leading up to his summer trip. Like, I was staying the night, and I met his friends, and like, having dinners with them, and like, that was super fun, actually. I really enjoy spending time with good people. Like, I think even as an introvert, if you can find your people that you vibe with and connect with, like, your social battery doesn't run out nearly as fast, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was fun while it lasted. And now he's going on a trip, and he's going to like music festivals and stuff, and probably gonna be seeing much cuter guys than me, so I just gotta accept that. I'm not jealous, I'm fine. So anyways, that was kind of the story behind that connection. And I had like literally one friend who, like, we've hung out like a handful of times, but he just does some things that I don't love and says things I don't love, and like his friends are kind of assholes to me, and so like I've been pretty distant from him, and I'm like, maybe I need to cut him off. I don't know. So anyways, that's what I'm trying to figure out with that situation. And then, you know, I feel like my only friend is my mom, okay? Which is great. I like, you know, your family will always be there, which is nice. Especially if you have family that you can be close with and be yourself around. My mom is definitely one of those people, but I don't know, she's a lot, so I'm assuming I'll be hanging out with her a lot. And then my sister actually moved here. She got married like a year ago and moved to Arizona, and she just had a baby, so she's probably gonna be busy. But like, honestly, my weekends lately consist of me sometimes even working. Like, I work, I go to the gym, I will literally just like sleep. I usually wake up, make food, go back to sleep, go to the gym, work, game until it's like 12 a.m. to like 3 a.m. and then go back to bed. And like, that's kind of how my weekends have been the last month or so. And it's okay. Like, I really don't hate being alone. I like my solitude. I've gotten to a point where I am so comfortable with it, and you know, things can be much worse. Like, at least I have a place to live. At least I have forms of entertainment. You know, at least I make money. Like, I'm not homeless. I can feed myself, you know. That's another thing. It's like, I DoorDash all the time. I literally just DoorDashed pizza earlier. So bomb. Mod pizza. I love that shit. But yeah, like, I just, it's weird because I feel like, you know, social media, it kind of skews your perspective of your own life. You know, I'm like, am I doing enough? Am I working hard enough? Am I socializing enough? Am I meeting people? Am I successful enough? You know, and it really like tricks your mind, right? So sometimes I get into this headspace of like, oh my god, like, what is my life? But then I realize, like, I'm actually doing fine, okay? And I need to stop comparing my life to other people's, you know? Even if I don't have many friends and do all these fun things, like, at least I'm at peace, you know? And that's all I really care about right now with my life, is like, I am so grateful that I feel at peace with my life, and I mostly just want to maintain that, right? And you know, I told myself I want to get so comfortable being alone that I don't need anybody else to satisfy me, you know, or entertain me, or to feel something. You know, like, I have a friend who, well, it's one of the people that I mentioned earlier, and he literally told me the other day that he started going to therapy to basically learn to be alone, because he doesn't know how. And I think he's like almost 40, you know, like, it's kind of crazy because a lot of us rely on other people for fulfillment, for entertainment and fun, and I think people get very uncomfortable being alone, right? Like, they rely on someone else. And I think I did that for a very long time. But it's also so empowering just to be by yourself and be comfortable and even excited to be alone, you know? Even when I was hanging out with this guy who I'd been hanging out with the last few weeks, we spent a few days together, like, straight, and then I was like, okay, I need a break, and, like, just coming home and having my alone time, I was like, this is amazing, you know. But yeah, my friend who started going to therapy and stuff was telling me about it, and it's weird because when you're with him, you really can't tell that, like, anything's wrong, and then he would text me telling me how, like, depressed he was and all this stuff, and I was like, you seem so happy in person, you know. And I think it's because he gets really sad and anxious by himself, and he doesn't know how to just sit with himself, and that took me a long time to learn as well. I remember, you know, first going through my breakup, living alone for the first time, like, I almost, like, had panic attacks because I would just freak out. Like, the idea of having nobody but myself, even before I had my dog and my cat, like, living with me, I was completely alone, you know, and I would, like, sit there at night just like, what is going on? What is my life? Like, I ruined my own life, you know what I mean? Like, regretting the breakup and all this stuff. It was really, really difficult. But it's funny because, like, you get to a point where, you know, you push through, you grow, and you learn to just accept that this is your life, you know. Loneliness is literally a part of life. I think everybody needs to learn to be alone at some point. But now I'm, like, at a point where I can't imagine not being alone. Also, I'm sorry if you hear my cat eating. His food dispenser just went off. But, yeah, like, truly, I'm at a point where I'm like, I can't imagine being in a relationship or having roommates. Like, I feel like that would just take away from the peace that I have built for myself, you know. I truly feel like I've built a peaceful, fulfilling life for myself, and I really enjoy it. And obviously, like, you do need people. Like, you do, like, to some degree. Like, at least one person, you know? And so I think that's where, like, my family's gonna help me a little bit this summer, like my sister and my mom, because I'm not really gonna have anyone else to hang out with. And I think I talked about this in a different video, but I think outside of having friends and stuff, I think people just want a sense of community, you know. And so I've kind of started becoming friendly with people at the gym, or like saying hi to people, or if I go to like Starbucks or like whatever, a coffee shop, like making little small talk with, you know, the workers or whatever, and like people that you see constantly at certain places, or like, you know. And I think that almost builds a sense of community. So if you're someone who has a hard time making friends, I think kind of becoming friendly, at least with people in places that you go to often, can almost give you that sense of community, right? Where, even if it's just like a hello, you know what I mean? Like, as an introvert, I'm not trying to talk to everybody, be friends with everybody. Like, that's a lot of energy. But even just the little hellos and like, how's your day going? Like, you know, that helps. A lonely MF like me, okay. I've also been thinking a little bit about like getting back into streaming and stuff. For a while in like 2023, I was streaming somewhat consistently, and like, it was fun, but I just feel like it burnt me out. So I'm like, I think it'd be fun to build a community on like a streaming platform and have like that live interaction with my viewers and stuff. But I don't know, like, it's just an idea, because I spend so much time gaming. I'm like, I might as well stream, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But so yeah, I've just been having this kind of feeling that I'm gonna be quite lonely this summer, and that's okay. You know, I've gotten pretty accustomed to my solitude, you know, and you know, there's a difference between feeling lonely and being alone. I should say, I'm gonna be alone most of the summer, and that's okay, because I don't necessarily feel lonely ever. I feel like I've gotten past it's more so like I'm just alone and I'm okay with it because I'm comfortable with myself and being by myself. So anyways, just wanted to make this little ramble video. I want to upload more consistently. I even thought about doing a gaming video today, like playing Overwatch, but I don't know. I don't want to put all this pressure on myself anymore for like content. Like I just want to post what I want and like gaming or rambles or anything, boyfriend content, you know. So anyways, go check out my other platforms. Follow me on XOF, my side channel, Instagram. I'm even back on Snapchat. I used to be so into Snapchat and I'm getting back into it because my baby daddy uses Snapchat. So I'm like, okay, I started posting stories and stuff again on there. But yeah, have a good night, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. And let me give a shout out to my patrons on Patreon. I am very thick right now, Jesus Christ. Okay, so thank you so much to Todd Jones, Talon, Alistair, Luther Hill, Chet Sosi, Len, and Brian P. You are my top patrons for the month. Thank you so much. I love you. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.